Boom! Welcome to Grown Dad Business. This is Aaron Kleiber, straight from the dad quarters.
The quarters.
That's what it's now, the dad quarters. And, of course, Jason Clark over here.
Rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Oh!
Boom,
I like that
right?
intro.
That's my
good.
intro.
Well, we like just coming on here and just BSing with you guys so much that we forget that there's podcast protocol.
There's a thing that we,
that if you guys like this podcast, please rate and review it on iTunes, wherever you listen. And also subscribe on iTunes. Subscribe through, whatever you use to listen to podcasts.
Right.
Laughable app, we're on there.
Yeah.
Or whatever you use. And share it. If you
it.
like an episode, share it with your parent friends, your dad friends, your friend friends.
Well, don't you want to share the things you love in your life?
Guys, don't you want to share joy and happiness from two dads that opinions don't matter?
None. Yeah.
Today, welcome to Grown Dad Business. We're going to be talking about graduation.
Dun, 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 dun,
Is that graduation or is that the president?
That's the president.
Or is that the Star Wars Imperial March? Wait, is that the Star Wars?
No.
What is?
No.
That's not the.
That's
the Imperial March.
That's the Imperial March. That was not graduation.
I think that was
the
graduation
president.
song.
Mine was the president. Yeah, the president just walked in. Stand tall.
I don't think that was right.
Grown Dad Business with Aaron Kleiber. That's my dad. Hello! Underpants? That is hilarious. Shut your mouth, dude. Rate and review this podcast or my daddy will go into a deep depression. Grown Dad Business with Aaron Kleiber.
Boom.
Back. All right.
Oh, back.
Yeah.
We're coming straight from the dad quarters. I just like calling it the dad quarters because we used to have Dad Cave, which it kind of was like the Bat Cave. It was in the basement. Now we have our own above sea level room
with
my movie
with
room.
Chair rail.
Yeah, it's a fancy room.
And when you have
It's a nice
chair
room.
rail, you really, I stand a little taller when I walk in this room because you have chair rail. Now, if we had crown molding, I would all of a sudden become very British. I feel really fancy if we had some crown molding.
Crown molding is tough in a 104-year-old house.
Yeah. You know why? Square.
Nothing
square. Nothing is square.
Nothing. Walk through my house with a square. Have fun. Crown molding, all of the ceilings, a lot of the ceilings here are still the old plaster, but they've been painted and covered over and patched, so they all look good, but they're not square. No. They're not flat at all.
You might think it's square.
Molding. No, you might think so.
You might. You're looking. No. You're like, oh gosh, that's
hung
square and plumb.
We hung moisture board in my bathroom.
Yeah,
not square.
Yeah,
not at all.
We started. We just have to start at 23 1/4, and we're going to end at 24 1/2.
No joke.
Snap the line, Kleiber.
That's the corner. That's the corner of the shower. Anyway, look, we already smacked into Grown Dad Business talking about crown molding and moisture board.
Plumb. We're going to have a glossary of terms at the end of every episode.
End of this,
for anyone that wants to catch up.
But no, we just wanted to give a shout out and say, hey, rate, review, subscribe, and share. Please, baby Jesus, do that for us. I love you. But yeah, graduation. It's graduation season. And the reason why I thought about it is because everything that's going on right now is graduation stuff.
Yeah,
because my nephew is graduating. My nephew already had his graduation party. We have another cousins graduating. It's like all of a sudden this age of kids, everybody's graduating that we know. And then Jason's son is graduated.
He just graduated. Yeah, I've been through 3 graduations now.
And
disclaimer. Let's get this out of the way quick. I'm older than Aaron. I've got I think 7 years on Aaron, and I have older children than my age would truly dictate.
I've never lived in an America where I could have been drafted in a war, Jason. Have you? I have no idea.
No.
I'm kidding. Wait,
no.
You thought about it for a second?
That's so stupid.
I love how you're like, wait a second.
I actually thought for a second, I'm like, did I even register? Did I do that?
I could see 5-year-old Jason on the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
Oh God! Oh man, I did have one of those moments recently where we were watching was it Heartbreak Ridge? No, what was the Hacksaw Ridge?
Meh.
We watched that the other day. Yeah, I know. We're not going to get a movie review. That's a whole nother podcast that Aaron
nominated
does,
for Best Picture,
which was total garbage. That's ridiculous. Oh yeah. Well, that's what I said to Melissa, my wife.
Are you kidding?
So I said to my wife when
My
we were
wife.
watching it, and I said, "This was nominated for something." And I went right on IMDb, and she goes, "Oh, hell no." Yeah, no.
Best
it was
picture.
it was ridiculous. And it won for best editing, which then she points out to me, when you win best editing, should there be a blood splatter on a camera lens? And there is one scene in the movie. And I go, what is this? Is this Walking Dead? What the shit is this?
Suicide Squad?
Yeah, you don't do that in a movie like this. It's supposed to put you in the action, right?
Dude, Saving Private Ryan had blood spurts all over the camera. No, it did not at all.
No, never.
Not even the television series Band of Brothers.
Which is one of my favorites.
Amazing.
Ever.
The book is incredible.
So good. Oh, yeah, the book is...
We're just going to... You know what?
Man.
How
you want to do
boring
a book
is
review?
it? Can we do a book episode?
You want to be like Oprah? We'll have
We
Oprah's
should-
book club?
We should do a What Are You Reading, Bro episode.
Wait. What do you listen to an audiobook, bro?
That's true. I only listen to audiobooks.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But
graduation.
anyways, let's go back to graduation. But anyways, no. But what I would the trail I was going down right now was sort of going with the whole draft thing. And you're sitting there and you're watching these movies and you're just like, my son. And we talk about the Greatest Generation, the men that fought in World War II.
Yeah.
And you sit there
Still
and you
agree
look
with that.
and you go, my son.
I mean, they probably beat their wives and they're racist. But anyway.
Yeah. My son is the age that these kids
That's crazy,
were
right?
jumping off into Omaha Beach.
Can you picture your son?
No, I can't pick. No.
Walking onto Omaha Beach with a M1 Grand Rifle.
Can you imagine how about the individuals that lied what their age was in order to be able to go to war?
16-year-olds.
Yeah.
16-year-olds
Lied.
like, I want to fight the Nazis.
And you think, and the government was just like, really? And they were like, no, we're taking you. They're not checking balancing that. They're like, oh, you want to go die? Let's go. You're going to go front line. Oh,
Yeah,
you're
well.
16. I that's when I watch war movies
guys,
like that, and I just sit there and
just
go,
think
my
about
son's that age.
You're not buying your case of Milwaukee's Best with a Hitler coin.
You're not.
So
4th of July, whatever you're doing,
yep.
it's not because of anything other than a 16-year-old that lied to go
You're
to
drinking
war.
Budweiser, not Bud Scheisser.
Budweiser.
The worst dad joke ever.
That was such a bad.
Hey, you better stop complaining about freedom because you're drinking Budweiser, not Bud Scheister. Bud Scheiser. The worst dad joke ever.
So bad.
Doesn't even make sense.
No.
You're not drinking Bud Scheisser.
Oh.
Bud Scheisser.
Bud Schleicher.
Oh yeah, Scheisser.
You're drinking the Bud Schleicher?
Und you want a Bud Scheisser? That's how they say it.
Emil, get over here with the Bud Schleicher.
Bud Schleicher. I don't know what it's called.
I don't know why my house servant's name
Why
is
are we just came up with this? What'd you say his name was? Emil?
Evil.
Emil?
Evil.
Emil? Is it Amish? You have Amish servants at your house? Oh yeah, they would definitely have servants still, probably.
Yeah.
Ooh, racism would still be a thing. Ugh. Whoa.
For Emils.
Guys, we did it.
We did it.
We did it. These kids did it.
But
Anyway.
anywho, so we're talking about
grown men.
So we're talking about graduation. A lot of different levels of graduation. For me, it was, like I said, it's my third. It was my daughter graduated obviously from high school. Then she graduated from nursing school, and then that big change of life. My daughter's moving to Florida. In about 2 weeks after this podcast is broadcast. For a job. She had a great job here in Pittsburgh, but she wants to work in a different part of a hospital, and she's like, hey, listen, I'm going to go to Florida.
It's gonna work.
And she flew to Florida. She flew to Florida for an interview. And did the interview, got the job the next day, and came back and said, hey, it's happening. So, yeah.
It's crazy.
So she's moving. She's 22. She's going to go do that thing. And
then your son just graduated.
And then he just graduated. So then we start going to graduation parties and all that. We're in that season right now. Just nothing but rigatoni and fried chicken.
I know. That's all I'm eating every weekend.
I'm like, good Lord, can we get a salad up in this bit?
I know.
Like, I need a little something.
I've always... I always sit at graduation parties and think about it, and we'll go back and me and Jason will tell you our tales of graduating or almost not graduating. I think for both of us that's pretty similar.
Yeah, we have diplomas.
We do. I think
it's in my mom's house.
I think
somewhere.
I have it.
Yeah.
I think they gave me one.
I checked that box on every job
I think they gave me a
application.
blank book.
Yeah.
They just gave me a folder that it just had my tardy list on it and my GPA, but I always sit there and think about, we don't have to wait. It's all lumped in together.
Yeah.
For graduation, it's always been a thing where I look around and I see, it's my nephew. It's Mike D. Mike D
Mike
graduated.
D.
You guys, he was on our March Madness episode because he's a March Madness expert. And so, yeah, I know we had to call on my 17-year-old nephew to explain March Madness to us, mostly for me. But I sit there and look at it, and there's all these people there, and you rent a hall, and you buy all this food. For what?
I know what for.
So your son can make some money.
That's exactly what it is.
So basically, it's almost like setting up a flea market where you shake hands and give out food, and you get money.
Yeah, I look at it from a business perspective where you're sitting there going,
business.
how much money am I investing to get back? What's my net gain? What am
You're
I
not getting a dime.
Oh, I don't get nothing. No, it's not like I'm looking at my son going, all right, so chicken salad costs you this much. I need to prorate that over.
So what if I just, instead of having a graduation party, I just hand my kids $1,500?
People have done that. Sure.
Isn't that like, I'm not throwing a graduation party. We don't have time. Here's $1,500.
Yeah, people have done that. I mean, yeah.
Actually, wait, no, fuck that. I ain't doing that either.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, you ain't getting nothing.
No.
I'm like, you lived here for 18 years.
Yeah, because I mean, there's people that just say like $9,000 kids are making at graduation parties.
What?
Oh yeah.
What?
I know families that have gone and their
You got
kids
married
walked out
very
at
young,
9.
didn't you?
Yeah, I was 23.
I got married at 22.
Yeah.
I just thinking out loud, like,
Oh, I've
heard people get wedding money that it's like $20,000-$30,000.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we got. Do you remember what you got? I don't know. It was different those times.
No,
they had $2
I
bills.
wouldn't remember.
They had $2 bills when you got married.
I got a whole collection of Indian head nickels.
Yeah. I mean, I think
two of them with bullets in them.
We got a couple $1,000s, and I just remember how exciting that was because it was like we can buy a real TV. Dude, I had a crappy TV. Yeah. At that point when we got married, like we bought a TV and a bed. I remember, like that was and then that was it. Like that was like that was.
We were already living in an apartment.
You were adults.
We were in an apartment together. We had. I mean, I honestly financially,
we just got out of college.
I bet you Melissa could tell me.
I had college garbage. Like everything I owned when we got married was everything that was on my 3rd floor bedroom, basically my studio apartment at my mom's house. Like that's what I had.
Yeah, yeah. These kids are making equivalents of
more
money
honey,
than.
Where can I hang up my Colorado Avalanche poster?
Yeah.
Can I put this Goodfellas poster in the living room?
Yeah,
of our new house?
I showed up to my marriage with.
My wife's like, "Where are you hanging that Die Hard poster?" I'm like, "I don't. I don't. Maybe I'm in the kitchen."
Yeah, I showed up with Debt, 1982 Trans Am.
Yeah, dude.
And,
of course you did. And a dope cassette tape collection.
No CDs, bro.
Did you have CDs?
CDs. We talked about this.
Wait, when you got married?
Yeah.
What year did you get married?
What's that?
What year did you get married?
97.
Oh, 97. Yeah, you guys had some CDs.
Yeah, when I was in college, we talked about we schemed Columbia
CDs.
House.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's how I got all my CD collection.
We're gonna.
You know how much I paid for this Candlebox CD?
Oh my God,
nothing.
Candlebox. Candlebox.
Candlebox.
If you had Candlebox, you definitely had.
I had the Toadies.
Temple of the Dog.
Oh shit, son.
Of course you did.
We don't want to go into the music episode. Temple of the Dog. Yeah, I had Temple of the Dog. That was good. But I thought
that's all the Pearl Jam realm. Remember?
Well, that was Pearl Jam,
Soundgarden.
Them two
all
together.
Those guys. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. But I mean, the
funny.
Jason
stood up. He's getting passionate.
I did right now. Well, we're gonna talk about '90s rock. We're gonna talk about the
Who brought up Candlebox?
Who's talking about Verve Pipe?
The Toadies.
The Toadies is exactly where I was going next.
Can we talk about getting super high and listening to Green Jelly?
Oh my God!
Did you listen to that?
Oh my God!
Green Jelly.
No.
Little pig, let me in.
Oh, that's garbage.
By the hair of my chin.
All right, back to graduation.
Anyway,
Let's get this back on
Well,
track.
you bring up graduation, and I'm talking about '99.
Well, I'm going to talk about the
late
I got to talk about
90s.
the music I'm playing at the graduation.
What is? My wife just poked her head in and shook her head, smiling like you guys are cuckoo bananas. Hey, hon.
Did you hear me yell Verve Pipe?
Did you hand? Hey, hon, could you hand me that phone charger right in the kitchen there, please? Thank you. You're the best. She's the best.
Oh,
let's be
she
honest.
did. She shook her head like
she
you
just
too.
peeked in.
You too.
Actually, she goes, "Did somebody say Candlebox?"
Yeah.
And she came in with her.
She's wearing a Cinderella T-shirt.
She's got her Sarah
That's
McLachlan
too old.
onesie on. She loves Sarah McLachlan. She loves Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah.
She don't like dogs though.
She's talking about.
She was. Yeah.
She's wearing her Lilith Fair sandals.
Oh my God. Lilith Fair.
That's with a PH.
Hilarious.
Oh God. All right. Yeah. So no.
Let's get.
Let's get
graduation.
This is a tough topic. We keep going off. But no, I mean, the whole idea of here's the biggest dilemma that we had. I actually Googled this.
What'd you Google?
Who do you invite to a graduation party?
Well,
let's talk about that for a second, because I mean, it is. I obviously I had my daughter's graduation party to think back to, but I just sat there. I don't remember being part of that invitation process so much. I mean, we knew who you were inviting, but then there's just like the people that, like I want to have people there that I want to be able to sit down.
Is it kind of a thing? I would say graduation party is way more people than. I say you would invite more people than a wedding.
Oh no.
No.
Well, it just depends. I guess it all depends on how much was your child involved in is gonna inflate that number. Like, was your child?
You don't think it's like a wedding plus like 25%? Because look, like if your son got married, okay. I'm thinking my kids.
Yeah.
If my kids got married, my new neighbors, I wouldn't invite them to the wedding.
No.
But if I was having a graduation party here on the Kleiber farm, and my neighbors, I'd be like, hey, come over for my kid's graduation, have some food, whatever.
I wouldn't. Maybe? No. That's where I don't know. I'm always very guarded.
If your son, I know this isn't like, okay, I'm thinking of my nephew, Mike D, right? Say Mike had his like football coach there.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
But also, like my brother-in-law, he's part of the school board. So like all kinds of school board people were there. The mayor came. The mayor of their neighborhood came.
Damn.
Because he's into school politics.
Yeah, right. That's his involvement.
But like if Mike D got married, would you invite the mayor to his wedding? Actually, maybe.
You might. I think that each example is completely different. For me, my son was not involved in sports and those types of things, so there's not that dynamic.
So, but you invite his friends' parents, right?
Yes, his closest friends.
But you wouldn't.
And I have no relationship with his friends' parents. None. Other than what his best friend.
But
I know.
Let's just say if your son got married, you would invite all his friends' parents.
Right.
Maybe one or two.
Unless, probably like the closest.
Like, for instance, by the time in 40 years from now, when my kids get married, like, they would invite you and Melissa.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, we're close family friends.
Right. Like, you're invited, obviously, to my son's graduation party.
Right.
You've met JC. You've talked to JC.
See, that makes sense. Like,
where I start drawing the line is just like...
You've never been to my house... And you've never met my children.
Right. There was a line where we started going through like different people that we're both involved with, and we're just like, no, I'm not invited. They know who JC is because we have a shared, we're friends.
That makes sense.
But they've never met my son. I'm not going to invite them to the party.
Right.
And then here's the other thing that the dilemma is. If I go...
Who do you invite? This is such a great question.
Yeah. I mean, if I go to a graduation, I'm going to my son's best friend's graduation party, which we did this weekend. And here was the question that we had. Do we give him money? Because we're just going to get that same money back. So, but we never went into a pact. I had a pact with his.
I felt weird giving my nephew money.
Yeah, but
I was like, I'm giving him $50. He needs to come cut the grass. You know what I mean?
But the thing we
decided on, pay him to cut my grass.
The thing that we decided on was just like, well, if it's a wash, it's a wash. That's fine. Just give him the money. Just give him the money. So yeah, it was for us sitting down. It didn't take too long, but we also just said, no, that person doesn't get invited. It will not be a big thing. I mean, we really looked at it and said, from a budget standpoint, it's like, listen.
Let me throw this at you.
Let's be smart.
What if you were the kind of parent that threw a graduation party and planned it with your kid and said, you're paying this back out of your graduation money? Yo, I might ball like that, dude. I'm going to teach them about business. I'm going to teach my kids about business. You know how quick...
I'm Jack Nicholson, Joker, 1989, laughing at you.
Hey, do you think... Here's what would happen. They would just be like, nah, we ain't having a party.
Nah, we ain't having a party.
I'm like, but you don't get no money, though. Oh, but think about that. I said, so what if you buy $500 worth of food so you can make $2,000? Oh.
Yeah, they're not going to
business. Teach them some business, Jason.
Nah, pump your brakes.
Jason.
I know. It makes sense to you.
Teaches them business.
It makes sense to you as a 36-year-old man that's made this happen.
You invest, you get more money back.
Yeah, it makes sense. But if I don't invest and I still get the money, you're still going to give me what I want, Dad. It's still going to happen. You're going to do it. You're going to be ordering that fried chicken and making your mom.
Jason,
your mom's going to be making some potato salad.
Couple weeks. Before we take a quick break. The last couple weeks, we've been eating the same 5 things.
Yeah.
You're right. It's been macaroni salad, linguine salad, potato salad, fried chicken, and rigatoni. Yeah, it's just what you eat. At graduation parties.
Yeah. Now,
is that different? Is that like East Coast thing?
I don't know.
Is that like a?
No, I don't think so.
Is that like a Midwest thing?
It might be. We did for Alexis's was different. Melissa wanted to be different, so she had individual like
Shrimp
deli
cocktail.
sandwiches and things that she had catered.
Oh, yeah.
And I told her we sat down for this one. I'm like, nah. Let's just we're gonna come a little more simplistic with this one at this time. I think we can keep this one simple. Let's just have a good time. Let's not get crazy with it. You know, the one thing that we felt was important. We want a really good cake. You know, we're big fans of a certain bakery here in Pittsburgh called Oakmont Bakery.
Yeah, very good.
Holler at your boy. We love them. I love that group of people. So yeah, we did a good cake from them. And you know, I mean,
that's what I was saying the whole time was that I realized Walmart has dope fried chicken.
Oh, bro. Yeah, and I'm not listen, I'm going to put it out on record. We don't need Walmart hollering at your boy. I'm not a fan.
No, not a fan.
I'm not a fan on a lot of different levels, personal,
I'm a Target boy.
Professional.
I'm a Target boy.
But that chicken's on point.
Dude, I was like, where'd you get this chicken? They're like, Walmart. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I pulled the like DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, like, what? Like, it is bomb.
Yeah.
Also, but like, if fried chicken's bad, you need to just stop making fried chicken.
Yeah, you should not.
Is it hard?
No.
It's not hard.
No, it all comes down to how you're preparing that seasoning.
Oh my gosh! All right, we'll tell you our little tales of graduations because I don't know if I still have to really look up and dig deep if I've actually graduated.
You went to college, you asshole. Of course you graduated.
Okay, that's a good point. I know, but I also don't know if I really graduated college.
Well, that's fine if you question that. If you're questioning if you graduated high school, the college let you in.
I physically don't have my degrees.
Yeah.
I'll get into that in a second. But we're going to do a quick part. Shout out time. Pam, pam, pam. And then Ryan plays a horn right there. Thank you, sir. Ryan, our engineer, shout out to Ryan for being the dopest with the mostest. That makes sense. But no, shout out real quick to a couple of people that we love. First of all, Erie Apparel, we shouted out last week. They single-handedly have the best Stanley Cup T-shirt I have ever seen. It is the Pittsburgh Penguin, Stanley Cup Penguin, carrying around the Stanley Cup. Like, yes, the logo of the Penguin shirt. He's carrying around the Stanley Cup. I posted photos on my Instagram. It's my favorite Stanley Cup shirt I've seen this year. Jason still looks good in it. You look good. I know it's a little svelte, but you look good, dude. You good cut. And Jace, the blend. He's flexing right now. And Luke the Nuke is like, pick up the microphone.
It's a manly blend.
The blend is a 52-48 blend. ErieApparel.co, not .com, and Erie, as in the city of Erie, apparel.co. They have an awesome collection of Midwest shirts from the city of Erie, Pittsburgh, Ohio, some Keystone State shirts,
Buffalo,
Cleveland, Cleveland Indians. Yeah, all kinds of cool shirts around this area from where we're from in Pittsburgh. And they also have a bunch of drink local kind of beer shirts, brewery kind of cool shirts if you're into that kind of stuff. But I love their shirts. I mean, they have a dope Forbes Field shirts that I want to get. It's on its way. But yeah, go to erieapparel.co. You can find them on Facebook as well. Type in as a coupon code DAD20, DAD20 for 20% off, dude. 20. 20% off.
20 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, 20% off a t-shirt with DAD20 on erieapparel.co. Another hot shout out. I cannot be happier, dude. This family business that we met at the home show, spectacular family-owned business, Bear of Pennsylvania. Now, they do go hours and hours and hours away. It doesn't, where you live, they're able to work with you. They have distributors all over the country. They are available all over the country. But Bear of Pennsylvania, they make playgrounds, play sets, basketball systems, trampolines, safety surfaces, stuff like that. They came and installed and delivered an amazing playground for my kids. I've always wanted something like that for my kids. The quality, I mean, dude, it's like the quality when you go to the rich people mall. When you go to your rich friends that go to daycare.
You get down South Hills Village and you got that dope ass display in Mill Mall.
Exactly.
It's one of those.
Pittsburgh connection. You get it, what Jason's saying. Like if your friends send your kids to that like Montessori preschool and that play set that they have, you're like, oh, this is a fortune. Yeah. They hooked me up. They gave me an amazing deal. I could not pass it up. I trusted them because they were great people, great customer service. Bear of Pennsylvania, and the installation, dude. One dude came out and installed it.
That blew my mind.
Holler at your boy Ryan, not our editor Ryan. Ryan, who installed it at Bear of Pennsylvania, amazing. And they have a lot of, you can afford one of these. They're not as expensive as I thought they were. Amazing prices. And they also offer 12 months, same as cash financing. But if you use the coupon code GDB for Grown Dad Business, coupon code GDB, you will save $100 off.
So it's at $900 or more.
$999 or more.
Yep.
Which, I mean, you're like, whoa, wait a second. Dude, but saving $100, dude, that pays for like delivery. It helps you with installation.
Let me tell you what, if your kid's in the backyard right now on one of those rusted out metal swings that the one leg keeps popping out of the concrete it broke away from.
Amazing quality.
You need to call up Bear.
Yeah. Call up Bear of Pennsylvania. You can go to bearofpa.com. You could also find Bear of Pennsylvania on Facebook, but coupon code GDB. And tell them that Aaron and Grown Dad Business sent you. I couldn't be happier. When Ryan comes and installs your play set or your basketball hoop or your trampoline, tell Ryan I said what's up. So go to bearofpa.com. And once again, erieapparel.co. Amazing sports shirts from this area.
Fun designs.
Dude, major shout-outs. I love it. I love it. Jason, you graduated high school.
I did.
Yeah. Did you have like a graduation party or anything?
No.
See, Jason, his senior year, I think, was tumultuous at home. Yeah. It was a tumultuous time.
It was very tumultuous, yeah.
Like, you moved out immediately, right?
No, I got thrown out.
Oh, shoot.
We're going
to have to go do another podcast on this business.
And we might have talked about my first time.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. It was rough.
I don't know. It's been a while. It's been almost a year that we...
For me, I always bring this up. I'm talking about my wife, and I have, we have our Valentine's Day episode where we had our wives on, and we talked about how we met. But my wife and I went to rival high schools.
Yep.
My wife was like, whatever, salutatorian or whatever it's called, like best overall GPA in all 4 years or something insane. She was tardy like 3 times ever in 4 years. She was like super hot librarian. That's what I called her. She's just smart, beautiful. I was class clown with a 1.8.
Yeah.
My senior year.
Yeah.
I think my cumulative GPA was like 2.4.
Yeah.
No, it was a little higher because it helped me get into college.
I'm happy that you remember that.
Dude.
I don't remember that.
I mean, I didn't become really studious until I started going to college for something I really liked. You know what I mean?
You hear that a lot about individuals. And I would tell you that this too. You hear that and see that a lot amongst creative individuals.
That's a good point.
And, a lot of creative individuals have a lot of...
Yeah, because we have friends that are like, they couldn't wait to go to college.
Yeah. And then, a lot of times when,
You're right. I have to be very interested.
They have to be very interested. And
right.
that's, my son's that same way. He's
a
creative individual. And,
yeah.
And I would tell you that I'm that same way. I was that same way, too.
Your son already has a clothing company.
Yeah. We'll work on playing that out.
We're going to pimp it out at some point.
At some point,
well, he's still in development phases.
Yeah.
But it's exciting.
He's done a really good job with it.
Hear babies crying in my house.
We'll see where that, it's what his passion is. And
it's cool.
He's going to figure that all out. And we're supporting him as much as possible. But
you're right. Yeah, I mean, people are different where it's like I really have to be in love with something to really go after it.
And I think that there's some people that are just all about school, and then there's times where you're just like, it's needed to be done, and I'm probably not far from that as I look back at those times. I couldn't tell you what my GPA was, but I would tell you that the day that I graduated was a day where I was just like, good. That's good. Let's move on. Let's move on to college where,
I think when I graduated, I was more excited about, I'm like, oh, yeah, now time for bigger and better things. Because at the time, I mean, I was all about, like, I played hockey and, but that was always, I played hockey in college even, and that was always like number 4 on my list. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
That like I could have played a little more hockey seriously, but I didn't care. Like it was something fun I love doing. My priorities were like I want to be an actor and a filmmaker, and like I want to keep doing like this stuff, and I was excited to do that. So I was like ready to move on. I was ready to like do bigger things. Go to film school, and that was not fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's graduation for everybody. It means a different thing. I mean, the actual day of the graduation. I mean, my dad didn't come. My dad didn't come to my graduation. He had to go to work. He couldn't take a day off. Yeah, so whatever.
Yeah.
I
don't remember my mom at graduation, even though I know she was there.
It rained, and so we were an outdoor graduation. It was because we're getting ready. This is my 25th reunion this year.
Oh wow.
So it's 25 years.
Wow.
And so a lot of people have been kicking these things around that kids, that obviously,
Yeah, my 20 year is in like 2 years.
Yeah. So,
Holy crap.
So it came up that it was one of the girls that I graduated with.
We're old.
She her son was graduating this year too.
My wife
and
is
it was
the best
supposed to
person
rain
on the planet.
It was supposed
She's
to
telling
rain.
me shush, like don't talk about her. Anyway, sorry.
It was supposed to rain on graduation day, and apparently we're the only class in my high school's history to ever get rained out.
Really?
So you graduate with almost 500 people.
Holy crap.
And they had to now move you from the football field to the auditorium, which then meant how many tickets you're allotted got cut in half.
That's why your dad wasn't there. He didn't get a ticket.
That's what he'd probably want to tell you, but he was nowhere. He was nowhere on the
It's raining out? JC, your windows are down.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there's not an announcement over the loudspeaker.
The one time I leave my windows down. Right? Anyways, but no, so it was just one of those things where it was just a little bit of a different day for me, and it wasn't exactly like
I remember thinking how hilarious I was because I wore a polka dot dress shirt.
Yeah, you did.
I wore a polka dot dress shirt, and it had these it was almost like I got it at the thrift store.
You got it. It's from Oak Tree. Someone got it at Oak Tree at the mall, at Century 3 Mall. They got it at Oak Tree. And then they went and they got rid of it because they were the only white kid in the school that wore it.
But I just loved that it had these hippie lapels, and I put it over my gown, so I had these
Oh yes, you did.
I'll show you a picture.
Oh, I know, I can see it.
And I wore the lapels over. I was also class clown, Jace.
I'm going to take a picture of that picture, and then I'm going to use that filter where you can turn into a comic book, and then I'm going to color you.
Jason, you're such a millennial.
What?
You're such a damn millennial. But that was my graduation. And you didn't have a party, obviously.
I did not.
I didn't have a party either. And I remember, and there's a couple of, I'll just
at the
say
time,
this.
I wasn't resentful. I didn't care.
I was the guy, too, that, I loved attention, by the way. Loved attention. But I was also, always making money. I was always, we talk about hustling, but I had jobs. I always had 1 or 2 jobs at least, and then 3 hustles going on.
Yeah.
But so, my mom, I remember my mom asking me, do you want a Letterman jacket for sports? And I was like, no. I'm like, that's $375. That's dumb. No way I'm paying for that. Because my mom was going to pay for it.
Right.
She's like, aren't you going to get one? And I'm like, no. Are you going to buy it? She goes, no, I ain't buying it.
Right.
And then same with the class ring. It's do you want a class ring? Class ring was $400. I was like, no, I don't want it. I'm not paying for a class ring. My mom would always ask me.
Yeah.
Then it was senior pictures. Are you getting senior pictures? I'm not paying for them. I was like, well, either am I.
Outside of the headshot that they do for the yearbook.
Yeah,
that was a given by the high school.
Right. I was like, I'm not getting. No.
I mean, there is a lot of expense to
Right?
that senior year.
You did all that.
This. Yeah.
You had a friend who was a photographer that's incredible.
Yeah, and she's done a great. I mean, we still paid her. I mean, but there. I mean, there's. Right. We paid a lot of money for Alexis's.
Right.
Alexis, we didn't have a friend that did photography. We paid a lot of money for hers.
And then
class ring
party. Come on.
Class ring, bro, is some I can't imagine. I can't imagine when Becca, your daughter, is ready to graduate, what it's going to cost.
No thanks.
It is. It can get it's design your own. My son's was platinum.
I remember that.
My son's is platinum, and then he has a tribute to his friend that died when they were in 8th grade embedded in it. So it is a very personal ring.
Wow.
It doesn't look like a class ring. It's something he probably will never wear. But he has it, and he didn't do the school colors. He did his friend who died's color.
Yo.
He had a favorite, like it was a tribute.
Your
to
son
his
just made
friend.
a pimp ring. That's what.
Yeah, it's dope.
He made a dope pimp ring with
It
his
is-
lost homie.
It's dope.
Like
yeah.
that's.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
see,
nice.
that's even better.
But you're talking thousands of dollars.
That's
Now
crazy,
we didn't.
dude.
Now
Come
we
on.
didn't pay that kind of money.
Right,
that
right,
way his wasn't. But I'm gonna tell you,
right.
it was up there. My
crazy.
wedding rings don't touch how much a class ring was gonna cost.
Man.
So yeah, you can definitely. And then everything. And
So
let me tell you this.
You hear where I'm coming from. So when it comes to all that, then did I have a graduation party?
Yeah.
Hell no. I ain't. Because the pictures, it was like, oh, let me spend all this money on pictures that people are going to throw away by August.
Yeah.
And let me throw a party where everyone will eat. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And
So
my
no.
family still sent me graduation cards in the mail, gave me a couple bucks, whatever. So what we're saying is it's getting out of hand, people.
Just like everything else.
Everything. Don't even get me started. It's a whole nother topic, I swear to God. I don't even want to talk about Sweet 16 parties. Because that's a thing now.
That's been a thing.
I know. But like,
That was
and I saw your son go through the prom announcements.
Yeah, he
and
didn't get crazy with that.
I know, but the prom announcements and 16-year-old birthday parties.
Yeah.
Like my niece, she was like, she wants this party instead of a car. So she said, well, how much would you spend on a car?
0.
Well, my niece, let me just food for thought before we get out of here.
Yeah.
My niece was like, how much would you spend on a car? I want that into a party. I was like, hell no.
That's crazy.
What? You want me to spend like 10 grand on a party?
That's
you
crazy.
are out of your mind.
Absolutely.
You're out.
No.
Ain't happening. Ain't happening.
My wedding didn't cost that much.
Ain't happening. Anyway, before we go, Jason's got something fun he's hitting me with.
I got a little segment here that I cooked up.
If you're listening this week, there's big things happening this week. I just want to throw
let's
out
go ahead
there.
and talk about that before
It's
we get
the
into this.
WDVE Comedy Festival weekend this week in Pittsburgh. Friday night.
The 23rd.
Friday night at Club Cafe, 11 p.m. The WDVE loaded show. It is loaded. I am on it. It's going to be fun.
I'm going to be sitting at the bar.
You'll be sitting at the
so
bar.
you can find Jason. Come chill out.
Yeah,
We're
come
gonna
hang
have
out with
fun. We're gonna have
JC.
a good time. We're going to drink some wine.
And then Saturday night, the 24th, the WDVE Comedy Festival version of the Stand Up Get Down. DVE's Bill Crawford and Sean Collier, who is my partner on You Can't Handle the Truth movie review podcast, holler at your boy. They will be captaining 2 teams for the Stand Up Get Down. Me and Jason are hosting. It's going to be a blast.
It's going to be a good time.
I can't wait. Other than that, you can hit my calendar.
Yeah.
Go in places. Jason,
All right.
close us out with a little something. I'm letting Jason do an experiment here.
Little segment.
It's my guy.
Little
I
fun,
believe him.
Little
I
fun
believe him.
segment.
It better not be, is this porn or is this people at the gym?
No, that's horrible. No.
8th grade, Adam Sandler.
Very simple. This, Aaron, I just want to sit down, maybe get to know you a little bit deeper.
It's
not
about
gonna-
goddamn time,
not-
Jason.
Yeah, I don't think we've talked enough about you in the first
about you,
80-some
son of a bitch.
episodes of this of
You
your
son of a-
podcast.
You're slowly becoming the son of a bitch of the week.
But
What do we
my
got?
my segment is called "What's Aaron Say?"
What do I
And
say?
if we were like really progressive, we'd probably have a cool theme song for this section. If
Yeah,
it
dude.
takes off, we might look to a friend
Soft
Eddie
jazz.
Twig and be like, "Can you give us a
Yeah,
little
something.
vocal over top of this?"
Soft jazz, little
Yeah.
clarinet.
What's Aaron say? So it's 10 questions.
Okay.
And we're gonna do it in a minute. Like
I
I
love
want first thing that pops to your head with one of these questions.
All right.
First thing,
This is it.
and it's it. We ready to rock?
Yeah, dude.
Here we go. First city outside of Pittsburgh you performed in.
Oh my gosh. I think in Marshall. Where's Marshall? In West Virginia.
West Virginia. Going on to the next one.
Yeah.
Favorite breakfast spot.
Ooh, favorite breakfast spot. I would have to say Pamela's. Pamela's in Pittsburgh.
Taco or burrito?
Neither.
Oh. Movie you watched the most times.
Probably Die Hard.
Original?
Oh, what?
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. What do you do with a hot potato?
I put butter and sour cream on it.
Of course you do. You don't toss that son of a bitch. You eat
Get
it.
out of here.
If you had a boat, what would you name it?
Oh, what would I
First
name
word.
a boat?
First word, go.
Biscuits. That's the first word that popped out of my head. The Biscuit Mobile.
Merge early or merge late? Way too
Early.
much thinking.
Early.
Wow, you're a son of a bitch. Toasted or not toasted?
Toasted.
Something you would never spend money on.
Gambling.
Oh, interesting. And the last one, be nice, and
be funny.
That's it.
Yeah.
See how I buttoned that up for
Be
you?
kind and be funny, dude.
Yeah, be kind, be funny.
I love it.
That's it.
Boom. Now you guys know everything about me, and now you can sign up for a Social Security card under my name.
Rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Do it. Come on.
Come on.
Be a pal.
Be a friend.
Now you know me.
God, it's raining.